Been mainland long time. You've been mainland long time.
On and off. I grad 75 and went up to Oregon. I was there for a while, then went down to Southern Cal, Glendale,
Uh,
San Antonio, Texas. Then I moved back to Hawaii in 96 and I was there till 09 and then came back up here.
wow.
Yeah. So anyway, for the folks out there watching, another fantastic Valao episode of Kahua Kai, The Journey. And today, my guest is Brunson Achiu. And I think this is the first one out of the Midwest that I've done. You live in California.
Yeah, yeah.
What part?
Southern California in Riverside County. So so that people, if they've been to California, Disneyland is 40 miles west of me, and Las Vegas is about 245 miles north of me. So I can get to Vegas in 3.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to put the well-known landmarks in there.
Yeah. And then
And
south of me,
Vegas.
yeah, and then south of me is San Diego.
Right
So
on.
I
Right
kind of
on.
like in between, all these places and Orange County, yeah, Disneyland. So I'm not that far away from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I got this correctly, you're a chef.
I retired already.
Okay.
So executive chef for big hotels, big convention centers.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot see your eyes.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
So let's start off at the beginning because I've never met you face to face, just online presence. You were born on what island?
I was born in on Oahu in Honolulu, St. Francis Hospital up in there on Liliha Street.
Okay, that Upper
Yeah,
Nuuanu. Because
yeah,
my dad
Nuuanu
lived,
area.
yeah, because my dad lived on Henry Street, which is up in the valley.
Oh, no kidding. I know where that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you turn by the church and go up Henry Street and follow it to Laimi. And so yeah, kind of
Yeah.
general area. And
Yeah.
you told me already from McKinley.
McKinley 71.
Right on, right on.
And then I have a brother who graduated from Kamehameha in 73.
What was his name?
Jason Achiu.
Okay.
He goes by the name of
Grayling.
he goes by the name of Capena.
Okay. Because I had a classmate, and I think the spelling of the last name is the same. Grayling Achiu.
Achiu.
Yeah.
Every Achiu is all related.
Okay.
So the Achiu family is from Wailoa. Okay. So if anybody look it up, it's the Achiu Leong family. Because my great grandfather's name was Achiu Leong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, first name Achiu, last name Leong, but I guess they chose the Achiu side.
Well, I did some research for my dad when he was trying to get Hawaiian homes, and what I heard, and it makes sense, but apparently, when they were bringing in the immigrants to work, the Chinese people, when you tell them, okay, what's your name? I need to write down your name. What's your name? They give it to you backwards.
Yeah.
So it was written down like, if I'm Kermit Brown, I would say Brown Kermit. And then what suddenly happens on paperwork, my first name is Brown now.
Brown, yeah.
My last name is Kermit. So most of the Chinese names in Hawaii are their ancestors' first names.
Right.
So I'm thinking, wow,
yeah.
for those people to
That's why only in Hawaii you can find names like Choi, Ni. So in the when they address you, everything is like when they call you, they're gonna call you like Ah Wong, Achi. That's how they call you in Cantonese, because when I talk to these Pakés up here, the real Pakés, and you tell them your name, they look at you, they scratch your head, they scratch the head. No guy named Achiu, So I said, no, my last name is supposed to be Leong, but I told my great grandfather's name was Achiu Leong.
So right
Yeah.
after graduation from high school, what was your first move? In
Uh,
Hawaii?
yeah, I still in Hawaii. I went to University of Hawaii and a little bit at KCC for a little bit food service. But I didn't stay long. I went directly. I went directly into the cooking field. You know, um, I guess I guess you can say I had the knack for taste. Your palate, and so I started working at all these big hotels in Waikiki Beach. You
Right.
know, yeah. So that's why my background is big hotels. Not this kind of small shop. I did work for one restaurant in Hawaii. It was called the Chart House.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for Joey Cabell.
By the marina.
And yeah, right by Ilikai, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
Alawai. Yeah. So
I've
I
had
was
a beer or
there and
two there.
and they made me in charge of the kitchen. I never have no experience, nothing, but they made me in charge. So that kind of set my foot forward on uh how to manage people. Because when you get into the into management position, you gotta know how to manage people. You know,
Yeah.
you everybody's father.
One one amazing memory I have of Chart House was there was a bartender, no idea what his name was, but he was there a long time. And he had an incredible memory. I think I went in once, had a beer, came in like 10 months later, and he remembered what beer I
What
had.
was it? A Filipino guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gee, what was his name? So there was one bartender named Hank, and then the other Filipino guy. That guy was a good magician.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. He was at the Chart House for a long
But I mean, and
time.
people beside me and tourists only come once a year for holiday, he would remember.
Yeah,
It
that
was like blew my mind, man.
yeah, that's good bartenders, man.
Yeah.
They can remember what you drink, everything.
So you worked in and around Waikiki for how long after high school?
Who till I moved to the mainland,
When did you move to the mainland?
1981.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what was the reasoning behind your move?
Well, because in Waikiki in those years, uh, there most of the big hotels are hiring German chefs or European guys.
Oh,
Yeah, that I guess the hotel people thought they were better. They could run things better, and plus, they had all that big culinary background coming from Europe.
oh,
And but I did learn a lot from these guys because they're really old school guys. And but when it came to the local boys, all they could do was the highest you could get maybe was executive sous chef, which is a step right below the executive chef. So I told my wife, I said, man, maybe we should go to the mainland. I mean, she didn't want to go, but she followed me. Yeah. So, you know, Portuguese, Hawaiian, Chinese girl from IAL. Actually, her last name is Hoftailing,
Oh, okay.
just
Well,
like the
maybe
street.
there's some connection because I'm
Oh
related to
yeah, big
Haley, so
connection with the family. Yeah, yeah. So
Aufteilings and Zudermeisters. Is she related to
yeah,
the Meisters?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So was California your first stop?
Yeah, never went further than that. I did what I did later in the years work in Vegas, at the Las Vegas Convention Center because I was running the big Anaheim Convention Center. So it was the same food service group. So when they needed help, they would fly me out to Vegas, to help with the big conventions in Vegas, or vice versa. If I needed help at Anaheim, they would send guys from all over the United States to come help me at Anaheim, because Anaheim Convention Center is the biggest convention center on the West Coast. I
Awesome.
mean, that place I could do $1.5 million in 3 days. Yeah, bro. That's plenty sushi, bro.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so when you get that kind of job that big, first of all, you got to be organized, and you got to have a way of managing sometimes over 1,000 employees.
Ooh,
Yeah, no small stuff, man.
then I guess you must be kind of good with names at least a little bit, huh?
Yeah, at least a little bit. I mean, almost 3/4 of the people you work with here in California is all Hispanic. You know. So you
So
might end up calling somebody, "Hey, cabron," just like how they call everybody in Hawaii, "Hey, bro,"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I did
along
have
the
to learn how
way,
to
have
speak
you
Spanish.
picked up any Spanish along the way?
Oh, I had to learn. I had to learn. Otherwise, you get nowhere. It's just like Hawaii. Everybody can pick up Japanese and Filipino and maybe a little bit Portuguese, and stuff like that. Samoan. Over here, everybody speaks Spanish. So if you don't know how to at least communicate a little bit in Spanish, because you gonna get lost up here, you know.
Yeah, because I
Uh,
lived about 15 years in San Antonio, Texas, and so out of necessity, my
yeah,
Spanish got workable.
yeah.
But like you say, yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying. You have to.
Crap, man, I know more Spanish than Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And it does help when you go into these markets up here, and because when you walk to the cash register, man, because I look Mexican, you know. So, and they tell you the amount in Spanish, man, you better know what they're saying, you know.
Yeah.
Now I did work in 3 restaurants up here. One was a champagne winery in Temecula, and in that time was called Culbertson Champagne. Yeah, and then I worked for another restaurant in the early '80s when I moved up here. It was called the Ritz. That was a nice place to work. It was really fine dining, kind of stuff, white tablecloth dining. And then in 1988, I opened John Dominus for Andy Anderson.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that busy. Holy smoke, man! We was doing over $2 million a month for that restaurant. That
Holy.
was the hub of Newport Beach. I tell you, man,
You talking about
everybody was coming to that restaurant.
Oh, okay. I confused for a second. I thought you were talking about John Dominus at home.
No. Yeah, the one in Kakaaku. No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So for some reason they found me up here, and I didn't know at that time. A good friend of mine, Al Yim, um, found my number and called me up and said, "Hey man, Andy gonna open up John Dominus. You like work or what?" I said, "Yeah, if the money right, I go." So, so I went there in '88 and opened it up.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, that's incredible amount of money. I mean, so you must be working with vendors
yeah.
and all that. It's
Busy. I mean,
crazy.
they have a thing in Newport Beach called the Newport Beach Boat Parade. And during they have this boat parade that goes around the Newport Harbor, and that restaurant sat right there at waterfront on the harbor.
Yeah.
So everybody like window seats. So poor Al Yim and those guys, man, they had to control the howlies, man. you know? Yeah.
Wow, that's a
But
neat.
yeah, that was good working down there. Again, that was good food and good atmosphere. Almost like the one back home. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
we've always had a good experience. The handful of times we've gone to eat.
yeah. So yeah, Andy brought up quite a bit of local guys to help open up the restaurant. From the Kaka restaurant. You know,
Okay.
to train the wait staff and uh train the hosts. The hostesses. The put a little bit of a aloha touch in there. You know.
Was it the same setup as Kakaaku where they had the water going through with the?
Yeah, all the fish ponds, everything. The
Okay,
interior was all core, just like Kakaku.
man, it's a neat concept. I mean, definitely had a draw for people that would go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Now,
was a nice restaurant.
where you live around Riverside, are there a lot of local people in that area?
Yeah, plenty local people. I was surprised. Yeah, yeah. I cannot believe how much local people live out here. Because sometimes you might run into them. They kind of give it a stink eye. And then they tell you, "Hey, you look like you Hawaiian." I go, "Well, hard for tell." you know, you know,
I know.
as soon as the pigeon come out, they know,
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had that exact same situation. Most of the Canadian places I go, you just get a little, look eye to eye, and then you kind of think, okay, take a chance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Give
yeah,
give
yeah.
them
Yeah.
how's it, bro? That's the test. The how's it, bro?
Yeah, and most of the time I'm wearing one Hawaiian shirt and palaka shorts. So that's a dead giveaway right there, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you say you're retired now. How long you been retired?
Little over a year now.
Okay. So how do you feel your free time now?
Man, I'm busy. You know. So I spend a lot of time with the dogs I have. Because I show dogs too.
Oh, okay. Particular breeds or
Great Dane.
holy moly. Wow.
Yeah, I've had those Danes. I had that breed even when I was in Hawaii. When my wife first met, probably 48 years ago, I had the dogs already. You know. Yeah,
Wow. Now,
yeah.
I don't know too much about them other than they're just gigantic, but are they a smarter breed?
Uh, they're okay. Like in all dogs. Some dogs can pick it up faster. Some dogs not. The Danes, Yeah, that's a big breed. They have a short life, so you got to deal with that.
Oh, I
But
didn't
they're
realize.
really good dogs with kids. If the kids and the puppies grow up together, um, and they're really good companion dogs. So what I do with these big dogs now is I train them to be what they call mobility dogs. They help pick up people. Yeah,
Like
they have
pick
to
them
be
up
three
off the
quarters.
ground.
Yeah, in order to be a mobility dog, they have to be 3/4 of your body weight. And then you get issued a tag from the state of California, a service dog tag. These tags are very hard to get because you got to get medical papers and everything. I mean,
Oh,
anybody can go on Amazon and buy a service dog vest and say a dog service dog. You know, they, because there's no actual license for a service dog. So when we walk into the store, all they gotta ask is that a service dog? And if you say yes, that's all they can ask. You know.
oh, they don't have to ask for backup paperwork.
No, no, no. That's why a lot of people they lie about the dog, when they have a dog in the shopping cart. That's ain't no service dog, bro. My therapy dog is not a service dog.
Wow.
Yeah. Some places give us hard time, but when I show them that tag, they kind of keep quiet. Yeah. Yeah.
So for showing them, do you have to travel?
I don't travel as much. I might. I mean, I just came back from Bakersfield, which is like almost a 3-hour drive from my house. Yeah, we used to go all over the United States. I mean, the farthest I went was to Pennsylvania. I drove to Pennsylvania.
Okay, now when you're showing Great Danes, I gotta ask, what do you drive?
Oh, I drive a big van. Yeah, a
I was
big
gonna say
van.
either that or pull a trailer. I don't know how you would get Great Danes with.
Yeah, you cannot put the dog. We don't put the dogs in the car. Number one because the dogs shed hair. Yeah, and it's hard to take hair out of the seats, man. And the carpet in the car and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we moved up here, I didn't get a dog till about 1986. I didn't get a day until 1986. Uh, and it was a funny story on the day. My wife said, "Yeah, if you can find a dog for free, you can bring them home." So guess what? I found on ad in the paper for a free Great Dane.
She thought she had you, huh? She thought she had.
Yeah, the Portuguese came out, man.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
unreal.
So since 1986 till now, we've had Great Danes. Yeah,
And do you keep them in the house with you?
yeah, all house dogs. Got 5 of them in the house.
Now, I went to visit a friend once years ago, and he had a Great Dane. So I'm just talking a couple of hours one afternoon. I was there, but that tail would go and just start knocking stuff off the tables.
Oh
And you
yeah,
gotta,
you
I
can
guess
talk to
that's
my
something you
kids. You can talk to my kids. They all have black eyes. Yeah.
oh
Yeah, with these big dogs, you got to be careful. You can't leave anything on the table, on the countertops, because they can grab it and eat it.
yeah.
I had one black dog. His name was Pono, and he was like the top 3 in the United States.
Wow.
So I opened on can of spam, right? And I walked away. I came back, the spam was gone. I was in his mouth.
Well, and the size of that dog, that brick of spam is just a snack.
Yeah, yeah. So we have to be really careful. We cannot leave avocados on the countertops.
Wow.
Yeah, because the avocado is not good for dogs. Huh?
Oh,
It's
okay.
actually the seed. They swallow the seed, they can get choked. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's funny, man.
Now I just want to ask, have you ever like made a mistake and lost something big like a turkey from Thanksgiving or
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We left the turkey on there, and the half of the leg was missing. Yeah, but yeah, you gotta take it in stride because these dogs are huge. I mean, this one I'm training right now, he's almost 40 inches to the withers, or in other words, to the shoulders, and he's about 190 pounds. Yeah,
I mean, he could just mistakenly bump you and knock you down, probably, huh?
yeah, yeah. People don't realize how strong these dogs are. So if you don't get them obedience trained, boy, that's a big hassle, man. You know.
And
Yeah.
it
So
surprised me when
everything
you
is on
said that they
command.
shed because I always see them with short hair. I just kind of figured they don't. So,
Yeah, they shed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
They shed.
they're
They
not
shed
one
big
of
time.
those.
We gotta clean the floors every day. Good thing I get tile. Yeah.
So I
Yeah, you
guess
can't have carpet in the house. No
they're
way.
not one of those. What do you call them? Hyperallergenic dogs.
Oh, hyperallergenic. Yeah, I have one like that. It's called a Chinese crested, but this one has hair, so their nicknames are called powder puffs. They actually have hair, real hair
It's a
on
Great
them.
Dane.
No, no, it's called a Chinese crested.
Is it a
So
smaller
besides the
dog?
Danes, I have a Chinese crested and a cardigan. Yeah,
Okay.
it's called a cardigan Welsh Corgi, and they are a herding breed. So they use those dogs for herding.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's a smart dog. Yeah, he can herd you. I'm serious, man.
So when he's hungry, he takes you straight to his bowl, then, huh?
Yeah, we're pretty good with the feeding. They get fed the same time every day. Um, the We don't put stress on the animal. Yeah, just like horses. When I did horses, the horses get fed the same time every day. You know, so
Oh,
that adds longevity to the animal's life. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I guess I've never been into that. My dog eats when I remember.
Yeah, bro.
Luckily, my wife's memory is much better than mine of my dog
Yeah.
eating or anything. So you mentioned kids, Brunson. How many kids you have?
I have four, two girls, two boys. The oldest is 50. Yeah.
Are they all on the mainland?
Yeah, they're all here.
Okay.
They're all here in California. Um, one daughter lives up closer to Oakland. Her job is up there.
Oakland?
Yeah. Oakland, yeah. Yeah, she works for the federal government in the public defender's office.
Whoa.
Yeah, for the federal government.
Okay, so when you get in an argument, you want her on your side then, huh?
Ah, that's Portuguito, man. That one tita. That one is a real tita, man.
So she's in an ideal
Yeah, she
career
got
then.
mouth on her, man. Huh?
She's in
Yeah,
an ideal career, perfect
yeah,
career for her.
yeah,
And your
yeah.
others?
The oldest is a teacher. My oldest son, he's a transportation manager for a big food distribution company. And my youngest son is a registered nurse for Kaiser in the city of Torrance.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we wanted to another thing we moved up here is to give the kids a good education. Yeah. Yeah.
Were they all born on the mainland?
Uh no, the girls were Hawaii and the two boys were born up here. Yeah.
So how much exposure have the boys had to life in Hawaii?
Not too much. So my youngest son, he goes back to Hawaii almost every month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
every month. Cause he bought a condo over there near Waikiki. So that's where my granddaughter is staying at the condo with him. So every so often, I guess every month they fly back to Hawaii. You know, my son, he goes for fishing. Yeah.
He goes, what?
He kind of like me, yeah, the outdoors guy, fishing, diving, you know, surfing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the girls, they know the lifestyle there, you know. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that's the kind of a unique and interesting part of these interviews is I find out where, maybe the parents born and raised in Hawaii, but the kids basically total mainland, I mean, they don't
yeah,
pigeon or not familiar with the lifestyle or
yeah. They're the kids' pigeon is not like mine's, you know. I have a funny story. I was on the phone with one of my classmates, and my granddaughter, when she was still living with us, I was on the phone, I was talking, and my granddaughter tells my wife, she goes, "Hey, hey, you go, hey, grandpa talking funny." you know? But now she's living in Hawaii now because she's going to the University of Hawaii. She hears that dialect now, so now she understands, you know, you
yeah.
know.
I think same kind of story I have with my wife because I met her here on the mainland and for a while we were together and we never ran into local people. So and then the first time
Oh
I got on the phone with a brother from Hawaii, her eyes were just growing listening to us.
no, yeah. You know how funny it just comes out, it just comes blurting out, yeah, yeah. I guess that's the way we grew up, and it never changes. You know,
And
it never changed.
I mean, you learn it along the way, but you can switch it on and off.
Right?
I mean, you got a switch that says Howley and local, and you just click, 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 and
Yeah. You know, I, I, I got into some big trouble sometime up here because when I first moved up here, I was telling the Mexican guys, "Hey, the thing Paul, looking at me, what is, you know?" Yeah. So I kind of had to learn, you know.
well, I remember too. First couple of years I was up here, certain things I just couldn't replace or get rid of. Pow was one of them,
Yeah.
and then the other was you're buying groceries, and then you tell them, "Oh, I'm going to need a bag for that too," and they're going bag or
Yeah.
package, or it's like what?
Yeah. 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 So you gotta think, when you talking up here,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So being in the food service industry, I don't imagine you ever have trouble like once in a while our family will be challenged finding ingredients for something local that we want to make. In your area, probably not.
Oh, in your parts is hard. You know, it took me 40 years to finally find on source for taro leaf
Wow.
up here. Yeah, because long time ago in Costa Mesa, there was a Japanese market, little mom and pop shop that was selling taro leaf. But then, then the guy decided to retire. And it's really hard to bring taro leaf up. You know, if you bring it up, you have to open the bag and inspect the taro leaf for any kind of mold or stuff, and then it has to go through agricultural, you know. So that's a big hassle to bring it up here. So finally, I went to this place in Torrance called Auntie Miley's. And the owner, Bruce, who from Kona, he got on my chef page, my chef Brunson page. And so we became kind of good friends, talk about food, because he saw some of my pictures, what I put out, because I only put out local food, you know. So I met him at the restaurant. I finally went up there, talked to him. I said, hey, bro, where you get the taro leaf from? So he said, Gal Market over here in Gardena. So I got on their Facebook page and I started messenger the people over there. And so they said, message me after 1 o'clock and we'll let you know when the taro leaf come in. So when they said taro leaf came in, man, we drove that 50 miles up there, man. you know, it's a little pricey, but hey, you know what? It's worth it. And then I found another place in Long Beach called Market. Mexican owner. He's selling all kinds of stuff for the Samoans, bro.
Wow.
He's selling 10-pound cans of corned beef from New Zealand. But he's a good guy. So we go to that market now called El Rubio Market for taro leaf. And in fact, when I come back, so I'm leaving for Hawaii this Thursday. I'm going back home. Never been in 5 years. so when I come back home, I'll go make lau lau. So I get my butterfish salted already. I get the pork ready, everything in the freezer ready.
Right on.
So all I need to do is go down to that market and get the taro leaf. Yeah. But yeah, they have markets up here called Tokyo Central that bring in items from Hawaii, like Portuguese sausage, and they bring in the lau lau, the Kioki brand lau laus, and little 1-pounders of Kalua pig, that they bring in. And they have frozen poi. So I bought a frozen poi. It's taro brand frozen poi. It comes like in a package, really flat. And I thought it was gonna taste junk, but that poi tastes really good. It's sweet, the poi.
You
I
just
didn't frost it. I don't follow the directions. Huh?
You just re-steam it to heat it up, or
Actually, I throw them in the microwave, bro.
wow.
So it's made for the microwave. So I defrost it completely. I break them up in a glass bowl. I add 2 ounces of water and I turn them on high heat. And then when the thing pow, I get on a whisk and whip it. And the thing gets smooth.
Wow.
And I put ice cubes in. And I tell you, the poi tastes good for frozen poi because I tasted some of the frozen poi. It really, really nasty taste, Because a 5-pound bag of poi is $15 over here in California.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro, they rip you off, man, So I buy that poi. I tolerate it, it tastes good. I try to make them sour, but no come sour. Why?
I
You know,
imagine they must
'cause I
have
like
some kind
salt.
of preservative to.
Maybe, but because I read the ingredients, I don't see no kind of preservative, in it. But yeah, that's the only thing I miss is the real bubbly white sour poi, and the pink poi, 'Cause that's how my father ate poi, you know.
Well, North Shore lifestyle. So,
Yeah, yeah. He had on bowl for his sour poi in the house, always filled up with poi bubbling in there, you know. Yeah,
uh, so this trip going home is just to be home. I mean, you don't have
yeah.
a.
Be home, go see family, you know. My wife's brothers and sisters all live there, you know.
What's your
And
wife's
then
maiden name?
my brother's there. Yeah, he works for the state archives.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know that in order to work at the state archives, you got to speak fluent Hawaiian.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, he can speak fluent Hawaiian, you know. So he works over there, and then I got cousins, man. I never seen in 40 years. So they're all down on the North Shore. Yeah,
What's your wife's maiden name?
Hoftailing.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah, the
thought she was
Hoftailing. Yeah,
related. So,
yeah.
is she a McKinley girl?
No, I am.
Okay.
You know, she, she grew up IL, but because her dad was in the army for many, many, many years. Vietnam vet, 3 tours. He was a drilling up in Fort Order for 6 years. Yeah, Kamaki boy, real Hawaiian man. Kamaki, German Hawaiian guy, man. Yeah, yeah, he's a good guy, man. Yeah,
Right on, right on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I
then my mother-in-law is from Kaka'aku.
okay.
Portuguese out, man. My family, man. Yeah. So she grew up in Kaka'aku, and she went to McKinley. Yeah, yeah, which is right down the road, right? Kaka'aku, right down the
Yeah,
road. Yeah,
the
yeah,
town kids.
yeah.
Right on.
So my wife kind of uh, grew up traveling across the United States because of her dad was in the army. Yeah, going from base to base. Yeah, so uh, they lived up in Seaside, California. That's up there by Monterey. Yeah, because when he was a DI up at Fort Ord, they stayed up there for a while. Yeah,
Well, and,
yeah,
and to be placed as a DI, you got to be kind of a tough bugger.
yeah, yeah. She pretty tough. This lady. I cannot say anything. I, I you know, uh, I let her do all the finances and everything about it because she's good with numbers. Yeah, she's an accountant. You know, and she's pretty smart. This Portuguese.
Now, is she still working then?
No, no, she retired too.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. She the one that really miss Hawaii. Yeah, the real local girl in her. You know. Because what is she? She Portuguese, Hawaiian, Chinese. Yeah.
I would think probably some German in there, huh? No?
So that dad is her stepdad that took care of her. Her
Oh,
real father, Jimmy Hoftailing, uh, is from Haula. Yeah, they grew up on that side. So my wife stayed with his grandparents when she was a kid. So she that's why she kind of grew up, I think, more Hawaiian than me. Even though my dad was real Kanaka, man. You know?
So
Yeah.
besides your dogs, anything else special keep you busy? You have hobbies or
I also play I play music 3 times a week. So I belong in 3 concert bands.
right on?
Yeah. That's why I went McKinley. I got recruited to go to McKinley rather than going to camp school. Yeah.
What instrument do you play?
So I played a string bass, electric bass, and tuba. And nowadays I just play the tuba. Yeah,
Wow.
every concert I play in, I go live on Facebook.
All right on. We gotta keep an eye out for that then. Do you kind of put it out as a
So you have
Facebook
to
live thing or
join my Facebook page, Brunson Achiu,
not the
and
chef one?
then huh?
Not the
The
chef
chef
thing.
one is called Chef Brunson. It's separate. Yeah,
Okay.
Chef Brunson. Yeah. You know, my wife started that. I didn't want to do it because everybody's a critic. Everybody's an expert. You know. But she said, "Nah, go do it, man. It'll keep you busy." So every time I make something good for dinner, sometimes I go live or sometimes I just take pictures. Like I get some videos on there. Uh, Me making pork hash live, making char siu live, because I make char siu from scratch. I don't use that packaged powder stuff, man. The NOH product.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's the guy's name that own him? Raymond something. The guy, he's a local boy in Hawaii. That company been around a long time. Yeah, because that no product, when you make the char siu, it comes out kind of pinkish red. And then when you turn a char siu and Simon, the whole bowl of Simon turn pink, red, pink. Yeah. Yeah, I make the char siu from scratch. I got videos doing that, videos of how I make Hawaii beef stew using boneless short ribs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. If you get on Costco over there, you go ask the butchers for chuck flap tail.
Top flat. Yeah.
Chuck flap tail.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, that's a butcher's term. So it's boneless short ribs. Right. You can do a lot of stuff with this. You can even throw that in lao lao for beef lao lao
Huh.
because it's got plenty fat inside. That's the secret to lao lao. Gotta have fat. No more fat, the lao lao come out dry. So this piece of meat, you can use that for beef stew. You can make pot roast. You can use it for teriyaki beef. You can make Korean dish called bulgogi, or you can use that for make boneless kalbi, just from one piece of meat.
Wow.
So
So
that's why you gotta know how to use the product several different ways, and that's in the restaurant world. That's how you make money by using one item 3 different ways, at least 3 different ways. Yeah,
imagine I've always imagined that
yeah. You gotta be
inventory's
akamai.
gotta
You gotta be smart.
yeah, because I think inventory and food service can either make you or break you, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of places, especially, I mean, I don't want to say nothing bad about all the plate lunch places here in California. Is everybody is copying everybody. Nobody trying to be different. They all have blinders on. You know. You know. Uh, uh, so nobody wants to go out of the box and do something different with the local plate lunches. I mean, I don't criticize the food, but when I look at the food coming out on the plate and I go, what's different? And then everybody not cooking the rice correctly. Really, they're not cooking the rice correctly. Either come out too hard or too dry. Um, Nobody making loco moco the correct way. You know, everybody just buying the hamburger patties where you're supposed to make it from scratch with all kind of ingredients into the ground beef, you know. Because the loco moco, you know, it started on a big island with a Japanese restaurant, a family restaurant, right? Hilo Inn or something like that. And they put all kind of stuff inside, you know, the ground beef, you know, to make the loco moco good, you know. But
Yeah.
everybody here just buying the hamburger patty, uh, making the gravy, and the gravy not there to me, you know, not there, you know. And the macaroni salad, ooh, bro, really poor hole, man. You know,
Oh.
I know why everybody put tuna in the macaroni salad over here. I tell you, I don't know why. And a lot of these local places are owned by Pakis. So they're copying, because I did a real big dog and pony show for Ono Hawaiian Foods. That's a big chain over here. And I did this cooking demo for them, showing them the kalbi and the beef and the macaroni salad. Except I do potato mac salad.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. So I did all this, and they wanted the recipes for all these ingredients. I said, you don't get the recipe until you sign up to be with U.S. Food Service. And they never did it, and they're never gonna get the recipes, you know. But I don't mind giving out recipes because that recipe, really, recipes are just guidelines. Even though I give them the recipe, not gonna come out like how I do it. I proved a point when I started giving out teriyaki sauce recipes. The Mexican guys, they don't have the palate for it. So they'll come out the same, you know. You know? And that's what I tell the owners of these restaurants. I said, these guys don't have the palate for the stuff, you know? So that's why they get hard time over here, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're not familiar with what it should taste like.
Right? Well, how we grew up in Hawaii. And when they come up here, it's not the same. It not as close as what we grew up in Hawaii with, you know. Like teriyaki beef. The best beef for teriyaki really is a sirloin. So what I use is called a cap steak. And you can get that at Costco. Just ask for cap steaks. So it is the cap off of the top sirloin. Anything below that cap is really tough on the top sirloin. Even what they call the baseball cut out of the top, this cap steak eats like a fillet.
Wow.
Plus with a beefy flavor. Otherwise, the only other beef for good teriyaki steak is ribeye.
That's usually the way I like
How
to
much
go,
ribeye
but
costs now, man? Now, you know? So the things are more affordable. So what I do is I freeze it a little bit, and then I slice them about really thin, and then I soak them in the teriyaki manner, and then I put them over the charcoal grill. Talk about flavorful, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
do you usually marinate like overnight or just a couple hours?
Yeah, beef. I just depends on the beef. Sometimes I might go 3 days.
Wow.
Chicken thighs, I go 2 days. You know, because chicken thighs got plenty fat in it, so it can take the marination. If you do chicken breasts to marinate, only 30 minutes. Because after 30 minutes, the soy start cooking the meat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. That's why plenty people when they make the chicken come out all dry. Yeah, because they breast and they're over marinating the breast. Yeah, yeah.
Boy, that's a
So these are the kind of tips I kind of give out on Chef Brunson. You know, if they ask, you know, if they ask for recipes, they have to join it, and all they have to do is messenger me their email, and I have most of the recipes in Word, so I just attach it to an email and send it out to them. Yeah,
I'll
I don't
probably
mind
have,
sharing, you know. I
I'll
mean, that's what
probably
my
have to touch
that's
base
what my
with you
parents
after
taught me,
we're
you know.
done to get those steak butcher names that I'm not familiar with. Cap steak and
So yeah, if
flat
you're
tail.
right, chuck flaptail, uh, and the sirloin cap. So you can go to Costco and get these things, yeah.
And those guys behind the counter understand those terms then.
Yeah, yeah. You have to ask. Yeah, you have to ask. Yeah.
Now we've got an independent butcher shop here in town, and I imagine if they're
They
knowledgeable,
should know. They should know. They should know. If they're really good butchers, they should know what a chuck flap tail is. And they should know what a sirloin cap is, you know.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, I give out plenty of information on that Chef Brunson page, you know. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
nobody's telling anything, you know.
so for the people watching after this gets posted, the page is Chef Brunson, Brunson,
Yeah.
on Facebook. So, you know, hit him up and share some thoughts and get some good recipes.
Yeah, there are a few people on this frozen ohana on the Chef Bronson, you know. I think what it good was, you know, I just went put on one, took some pictures of the dobosh cake I made 2 weeks ago. I think everybody on your page, man, you killing me, bruh. You know? Yeah, there's a guy in Iowa. I think his name is Russ Turlinger or something like that. Roosevelt grad from the 50s. He lives in Ohio. He goes, you killing me. You know? Yeah. So that's you know, it's fun, you know, fun doing it, you know. You know.
Yeah, because I know there's a few in the frozen Ohana who live in parts of the mainland where there's zero Hawaii influence, and at the same time they have trouble getting ingredients, so they can't even make it at home.
Yeah.
They suffer when they see videos shared.
Yeah, it just depends on the ingredients, you know, like for taro leaf, it's kind of hard to get it up there in up in your area, yeah, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all that area. So, you know, to make lau lau, my suggestion is to use collard greens. You can get collard greens anywhere in the mainland. And then as far as butterfish, the correct name for that fish is called sable or black cod. Sable, S-A-L, sable fish. So, hey, you know, good thing we got these big Korean markets here over here in California called H Mart. $5.99 a pound for whole butterfish.
Wow.
So I have them take it apart for me. I take the fillets home. I take out the middle pin bone and I salt them for 3 days. I make my own salt butterfish. Same thing like salmon for
You
lomi
making him
salmon. I go
cry.
to Costco.
What's his name?
What's that? What she said?
You're
Right.
making him cry.
So, like for lomi salmon, I go Costco and I buy the wild sockeye salmon. I don't use farm salmon. I don't touch the farm salmon unless it comes from Norway, because the farming is much cleaner up there in those areas than the salmon from down south of me, you know, in Peru, that area, all that area. Yeah.
I
So
saw a thing on Facebook where they had pieces side by side and the color was really different.
yeah, so all Atlantic salmon, they call Atlantic salmon. In order to keep the color, they put color into the feed. And Costco was actually had a sign at Costco. Uh, it says color. You know, they feed the salmon some kind of color in the feed to keep that orange color. But the wild salmon have that natural, really nice, bright orange color. You know, so Costco always have defrosted sockeye salmon, wild sockeye salmon. It's a little bit more money, but I use that for make. So salt salmon takes 6 days. So I just pack them with kosher salt, and every day I drink, pick the water out, and I repack it with salt. And as the days go further, you can see less water because the salt draws out all the moisture from the salmon. So as the day, by the time you get the fifth day, hardly get any water on the bottom of the pan, you know. And by the sixth day, I brush off all the salt and I portion the salmon into 4-ounce pieces because 4-ounce pieces is good for about 5 to 6 Roma tomatoes to make lomi salmon.
Huh.
Yeah. So now you know how to salt salmon, bro. Not just buy kosher salt.
I don't know if I have the patience to work on food.
And I skin on
days,
too.
though.
Yeah, yeah. So, again, I learned all these techniques from my dad, yeah, how to salt. You know, he was good with the Hawaiian stuff, just like Lao Lao, So my Lao Lao is about 5 to 6 taro leaves to wrap. And then in there, everything is measured. 4-ounce pork shoulder. And I try to find a pork shoulder with plenty fat. And then 4-ounce pork belly, 4-ounce salted butterfish, and a 4-ounce piece of taro, plus the taro leaf stem goes into the Lao Lao.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the leaves I buy come with the stem, and I make my wife peel them. And nobody like peel, that's because that's plenty work. But I help her peel, but that the stem go into the Lao Lao too.
Oh, what does
So
that
no
mean?
waste, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're paying like close to $5 a pound for taro leaf, So you throw away the stem, that's money down the drain, yeah. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff as kids we learn how to do, Yeah. The old fashioned way, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So growing up, then your kids were exposed to local food.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey dad, when you go make macaroni salad, you go make corned beef and onions or that kind of stuff, Kalua pig and cabbage, kalua pig and onions,
Well, your kids were very fortunate then to grow up in your house because you can see
Yeah.
growing up on the mainland and not get a
Right.
chance
I'm
to
not
eat
gonna
any of it. So
Yeah. Because it takes an act of Congress for me to go to McDonald's, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like hamburgers because there was one place in Kaimaki on 9th Avenue was called W&M Hamburgers.
yeah. I've eaten there.
Man, it was a ritual every Sunday morning before we go surf. We hit a teriyaki hamburger and macaroni salad with crab inside, and on lily koi shake. and where I lived on Nuuanu Avenue, so I live 6 minutes from Lilia Bakery.
Oh.
Yeah, on Kukini and Lilia. And then
across
across the street from Lilia Bakery had
James.
Honda's Okazuya.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Jane's Fountain.
Man, that Saturday morning, my dad hit that place for make the big box lunch. Corn sushi, shoyu butterfish, gobo, macaroni salad, the works, man. you know? you know? And then a little bit down the street got Jane's Fountain, right? Over there, and the OLNL drive-in. And a little bit further down the road had Dutch Girl Bakery.
Wow, okay, that's back.
Yeah, I had plenty of restaurants on Lilia Street, Yeah.
That was a good
and oh yeah, and then Chinatown, man. I used to go down there almost every day, man. Every day,
But when we were back in Hawaii, in most of the early 2000s, we lived out in Waianae. But I would do a lot of work in town. So on the way home, I would swing by Liliha Bakery. I would buy 12.5 Cocoa Puffs. Because by the time I get home to Waianae, I only get 1 dozen left. I had to make sure.
As far as pastries, the thing I really miss is malasadas and Long Johns.
Long Johns.
Because no more up here, man. No more Long John up here, man. You tell them, hey, you guys get Long Johns. And they look at you, think you're crazy. Just like the Chinese restaurant. Hey, you guys get cold ginger chicken. They look at you, hey, what's that? So, I make my own now, Yeah.
Riverside, California.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it I discovered?
You can go on Google Maps. You can go on Google Maps and type in 5437 Peacock Lane, and you can see my house on Google Maps. Yeah.
John, what's the number?
5437 Peacock.
Peacock Lane.
Yeah. It's definitely an adjustment living on the mainland. So
yeah, an adjustment, but we got through it. Once we found out how to get food products and what stores to go to, and of course, being in the culinary field, I make my own stuff, So once in a while, I might make my own custard pie or make my own chantilly cake, and like the dobosh cake,
Oh my God, I just wanted to stop talking.
So it's not hard for me, because when you're in the culinary field, you know what to do, whereas the home folks, it's a little hard for them, and that's why I do a lot of live videos on how to cook stuff, if the ingredients are available, Yeah, I get demo of me cutting sashimi and how to make poke, because this Tokyo Central Markets, they're bringing ogo every Friday.
Wow.
And then
bedrooms in his house?
And Inamona, I have Inamona in my freezer, Well, she found my house.
Is your house a 6-bedroom house?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, I think she found
2-story house. I don't know if there's a van in the driveway and a couple cars in the driveway, And my house is completely chain link fence because I have a kennel license, but in the Riverside County. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right on.
yeah,
Now this trip to Hawaii that you're making, you and your wife going.
yeah. Just me and my wife.
So who gonna
We're
feed your
going,
animals?
and then of course we're going to meet our granddaughter there.
So
You
while you're
know,
gone, who gonna feed your animals?
and my son.
Oh,
So
okay.
my oldest son lives with us.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Him and his fiance and the grandkid, another grandkid, stays with us, and because they can't afford to buy a house. Yeah, yeah, especially right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they stay with us, and it's a blessing. You know.
Well, I
Yeah.
hear things about life in California in general, and I mean everything's so high.
Oh, bro, man, we paying $1.40 something in gas tax out here. These I don't know why they voted on the gas tax, the last election. They thought all that money was gonna fix the roads, but it never, no way, man.
What are you guys
We're
paying for
paying
a
we're
dozen
paying
eggs
five
now?
bucks a gallon for gas.
Yeah. What are you guys paying for a
Yeah.
dozen eggs?
Oh, I lucky. I buy 5 dozen eggs for $60.
You wish you could come out the door and wave at us.
5 times 12. Okay.
He said,
So I can get 180 eggs for $60.
how much did it
You know, I used to pay $10 for 5 dozen eggs.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that was not yesterday though.
I mean Costco has eggs. I mean Costco was $5.99 for that. I think it was like 18 eggs or something. But they limit you to two. Yeah, two packages of eggs.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you cannot just go in there and hog. They put a limit on it. You know, but it's big eggs. It's really extra large eggs, really big eggs. So yeah, yeah, eggs got out of whack. Well, it's because of the bird flu. They lost a lot of chickens.
hey, hold
You
on.
know,
Okay.
That's what I heard.
yeah, yeah,
You know, less eggs being laid, so the demand
right.
runs the
And
supply.
then, when it gets during the summertime, it gets even worse because it's too hot. Yeah, for chickens to lay eggs. So
Well,
I didn't know you guys 2 hours ahead of me. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
always
about
gotta
three
keep track
hours.
of
Yeah,
that. Either 4 or 5 hours ahead of Hawaii for me. So
right,
this time of year, spring ahead, it's harder
right,
for me to make contact with people in Hawaii because I'm
right.
sitting at a decent hour to call them. So
I still not used to this daylight savings time. Here in California.
well, I think they should just do away with it. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
valid.
I know that they I think they wanted to vote on it and it got turned down. So I don't know.
Because I understand that it was set up because of the farming industry.
Right.
And I mean, that's not a big deal now. I mean, they adapt,
Yeah.
so the world doesn't need it.
Yeah, California they like be different.
Everybody does. Just
Yeah, everybody does, man.
Hawaii and mountain time don't change, huh? Or what is it?
Hawaii don't change. I think Las Vegas don't change. Not Las Vegas, but Arizona doesn't change. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know if that changes.
I think they change, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So oh boy. So well, everybody out there listening, again, an invitation to join Chef Brunson's page on Facebook.
Yeah, just go on there and fresh join, and then it'll say pending. And then once I go onto the website, I just say approve all. And again, if anybody need recipes, they need to messenger me their email. Do not put it into the comments, because I don't want nobody grabbing the email and start doing stuff, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And then and I'll send the recipes in Word in email. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. And then, I had a few people that had a hard time decipher the recipes, and I sent them my phone number. They call me. Yeah, so I can explain to them, So I don't mind sharing. That's the way I grew up. Yeah. Mom and dad taught us that, So I give out a lot of stuff, I don't expect nothing back. It's just somebody trying to help the mainland Hawaiians. Yeah. Right. Right.
Well,
Yeah.
brother, I want to give you a big mahalo for joining me today.
Yeah.
Fascinating talking to you, bro. I'm just, my mind is kind of blown by all the information you've shared. So,
Yeah, that's why nobody wants to share anything, I don't know why. I mean, it's just food, bro.
yeah. Well, you and your wife have a fantastic, safe trip back home. Enjoy your time while you're there.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Okay, shoots, bro. Talk to you later.
Aloha.
Aloha.